Hello, welcome back. Time for tonight's Media Watch, and for that I'm joined on set by the lovely James Creedon. Hello, James.
Hello, nice to see you.
I believe we're talking about that tremendous jump last night by Felix Baumgartner, the Australian skydiver. I saw it, did you?
I actually didn't see it, but you know what? 8 million people did on YouTube live. Now, this for several reasons, this is an interesting, I think, media story. First of all, the buzz that it generated all around the web, because it is an extraordinary event. I mean, jumping from that high up. Also because it broke all of the records on YouTube. 8 million people watching live on a YouTube direct link is a massive break of the previous record, which was 500,000 for an event at the London Olympics. So that's kind of breaking that record. Now, also Red Bull, I think what's quite interesting about this is 30% of Red Bull's marketing budget is spent on events like this. It's spent on extreme sports, skydives, cliff dives, all sorts of stuff like that. And I suppose, you know, it gives you wings. That's their marketing strategy. And it's a pretty good idea to associate the little Red Bull with exploits such as this. But we tend to forget that in all of the brouhaha around this event, that it is actually a privately funded marketing coup, and a very successful one at that. And just to remind viewers of previous events that Red Bull has associated themselves with, let's take a look at the next series of pictures. This goes back 2 years to an event that happened in Paris when Tig Chris rollerbladed off the first floor of the Eiffel Tower. Let's take a look at these pictures. It's pretty extraordinary. This is his second attempt, by the way. Yeah, really. And that was a successful jump, actually, even though he fell on the way down. Now, they also sponsor what they call leaps of faith. Not quite as high as Felix Baumgartner's, but still pretty impressive stuff. This is an annual event that Red Bull sponsors. So
wow, look at that. Could you ever leap from that height, James?
I don't think I could. And even if, well, I could leap from that height, but I would go straight into the water without any contortions whatsoever. That I can pretty much assure you.
I think you're brave from jumping from that height. I could never ever do it. Absolutely not.
There you go.
Now, there is, of course, lots of satire online surrounding the jump. No surprise, it was a massive event.
That's right. And as is always with events like this, you get memes coming out of it pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the skydiving cat. You can see it here on the Huffington Post on the computer. There you go. Predictable enough.
Oh,
and somebody also picking up on Red Bull. Government cuts funding to NASA, which they have done. We'll take it from here, guys. In other words, Red Bull taking over on the skydiving stakes. Also, Mr. Putin finding his way into the whole thing. If you remember, a couple of months ago, he went flying with cranes. It was another publicity stunt. And I suppose his wings, this was a meme that went around online showing him on kind of eagle wings. There he is. He's also got his Red Bull wings, it seems.
Absolutely fabulous. I saw a picture of a giraffe popping up his head, and the question, was it really a real jump? It was a funny picture.
I think that would be a very long-necked giraffe if it were true. It
certainly was. Now on to more serious matters. James, there's something trending on Twitter, and Bon Juif. Tell us about that.
All right, now this was in particular over the weekend and yesterday. If we have a look on the Le Monde website, this was one of the top trending topics. Let's get a close-up on that. You can see there the tendance or trends on French Twitter, and Bon Juif was up there. Now, that means a good Jew, literally, and it was actually anti-Semitic tweets with photos attached of the concentration camps. Needless to say, in the worst possible taste. If for some people this was humour, they are, I think, pretty misplaced. It was misplaced and just completely politically incorrect and wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Now, and it brings up the debate, as is often the case with instances such as this of censorship, actually, and whether Twitter should allow conversations like this to take place, or if in the name of freedom of expression, you can say whatever you want on social media. A lot of people here, such as on this website, a Jewish website, Twitter, what they describe it as being like is the Dieudonné generation. Now, Dieudonné is a French comedian who is known for having made anti-Semitic remarks in the past in the name of humour, in part. And so what they're saying on this website, in fact, is that people think that in the name of humour, anything is permitted. This generation Dieudonné in France, some of them at least, seem to think that you can do or say whatever in the name of humour, and that simply isn't acceptable. Now, SOS Racism, which is an NGO, obviously obviously against racism, is set to lodge a complaint. But the thing is, in Twitter in France, you can't actually take down these tweets unless an official complaint is lodged.
Right.
So it does raise questions about freedom of expression, censorship, etc.
It is certainly a minefield trying to censor social media. Thank you very much, James.
Thanks very much.
James Creedon there with Media Watch. Do stay tuned. More news coming up in just a few minutes.